little Facebook, YouTube, and
come on in. You got to
Twitter.
make a lot of motion.
Motion?
Because people
Commotion?
see things then.
It looks like you're punching me.
Yeah. Come on in. Come on in, folks.
They don't have depth perception.
I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
I'm Mike Keenitz, PT assistant.
I've been thinking about your name, Mike, and I've been thinking you're Mike K. So I'm going to call you Mike A. Mike A.
We already have a Mikey that works for us.
No, Mike K. So it's a little different.
It just sounds French.
Now, I want to talk about my goal or our goals with these products. And, we're just not trying to hawk some products. We're trying to help you. So if you have a certain problem, we're going to go over those problems and we're going to show you which product would work best for that. So if you have specific problems like shoulder problems or a neck problem, or maybe not neck today, but hip problem or knee problem, we can show you products that'll help you. So
if you're following us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, this is on Amazon Live as well. The stream might be a little clearer there. I did put the link in the description if you want to go over there.
Yeah, so again, our goal is to help you. I mean, we're not just trying to sell you products. So let's start off with the wall anchor, Brad. Mike. I knew I was going to do it at least once.
Did it last time, too.
Yeah, at least once. So the wall anchor is a simple little device. That's it.
It's got 3 holes. It's highlighted on the bottom of Amazon Live. I'm going to show that camera too.
Oh, yeah. Now, this thing, even though it's very, very small, it's very durable. It's 800 pounds of pressure.
Look where I'm pointing. Those are wall anchors mounted. You typically want different heights for them, and they come in a 3-pack.
Yeah, so you can put one at pretty much where you can reach.
Yeah, those are kind of set up for Bob. Obviously, the top ones you can do pull-ups or pull-downs with. You're going to want to go at a height that's comfortable for you.
Right, and again, you can't break this. I mean, this is going to handle any band you have.
No, they have a test of an 800-pound pulling force, so they can handle up to 800 pounds, and that's just one. And half the exercises, you're going to be using 2 of them. So
somebody's asking a question already. Why don't you look at questions?
I fell last week and hit my head from dizziness. There's nothing to do with this.
All right. So if we want to put a band on here, there's different ways you can do it, and that's why the advantage of this versus just like a hook. Like if you put it on a hook, the band will slide through.
Yeah.
But if you would use one of these, you can do it a lot of different ways. One, you can bend it and put it through the center of the hole there, and then you can hook it to the top, and I slide it in. I hope this is clear. But once it's locked in like that, now I can pull on one end and it won't slide.
Yeah.
That's a big advantage.
And you can also fit numerous bands through the center hole, so you can use up to 5 bands. You can do, depending upon how much resistance and what exercise you're doing. These are only, a 3-pack is $36.95. It comes with the mounting kit. There's a video on Amazon, too, how to install them as well.
Now, the bands do come separate. You have to buy them separate. And if you have a thick band like this, you have to pull it apart a little bit, and then it'll go inside the little slot.
There you go.
I can get it. So here we go. I got 2 fairly thick bands hooked up to it. This thing's going to stay in place, and I actually have a couple sets of bands because I like to keep them in place, not have to keep changing them, although it is easy enough to change.
Yeah.
So now, the other thing that's really important with this is you have to have the ability to put this into a wall and into a stud. So here's our little demonstration piece here. So here's some drywall, or it could be, I don't know, plywood.
Yeah.
But you're going to go right into, and you got to make sure the screw goes into the stud. I don't know if you can see that. It's actually missing the stud here.
You can show, yeah,
But
that's
it shows
the missing of the stud.
It shows how deep it goes into the stud, so it's not going to pull out. I mean, we really don't want anybody hurt by this. So like when we have you put it in there, we actually have you pull on it as hard as you can to make sure that it's not going to hurt, pull out. So you want to be able to trust these because there's some things. Yeah, Mike's going to show you.
Demonstrating you how this is just one of them. This is not a product we're talking about, but I'm hanging from it and it's not pulling out of the wall.
Right.
So it is handle a lot of weight. I mean, I'm 180 pounds, but handle up to 800 pounds of force.
Speaking of which, you can help. This will help you lose weight if you get the bands. Not that I'm implying you need to lose weight, Mike, but if you did want to, this could help you because you can get some high intensity interval training with it.
Yes, on Facebook. It is on Amazon Live. You have to go to Amazon Live section for people that were asking over there.
Yeah, what is the price? Mike?
Price is $36.95 right now.
So again, you get 3 of them,
Yep.
and again, I can't think of an exercise you can't do as far as resistance training when you have all 3 of these.
Yeah, you can use bands, you can use loop bands, you can do a variety of things. They typically include 3, so you can put them at different heights, like are behind us here, up high, middle, low. You can do 2 up top. We have a pull-up system as well. We're not going to talk about it today, but it can actually connect to them as well.
Right, and I think the big thing about again these is very, very solid. I mean, you cannot break this. I mean,
yeah,
we did a force gauge on it, a force test on it, and the gauge actually broke at one point. You probably don't know that, but so
early days.
All right, let's go back, Mike. Should we maybe try a few exercises?
Yeah, we can show how you can use it in different ways.
I hope we can see us well enough. So we're going to grab some bands. And now this, when we chose bands, we looked at bands for years because I would say we're almost a band expert. You're going to the next one. Yeah.
I'm changing it for them.
All right. Do you want to say the price right away?
No. It is $39.99 for the set of these bands.
Yeah. Now we wanted to make sure they were high quality bands, so that was the first thing. So these, our manufacturer said that these are in the top 5% as far as bands, as far as durability and quality. We also wanted the best handles because it really makes a difference the handle you have, and these are really high quality handles. They're really nice. They're really solid, and you got plenty of room for your hand. You don't have the strap rubbing against your hand. You got room for it. So
if you look, there are 5 bands that come with it. They're all different resistances. They're actually 2 different packs they sell. So the one pack is $29.99 because it has less overall resistance weight. The higher resistance weight is going to be $43. So right now, if you're looking on Amazon, you just pick which one you want depending upon the resistance. And they all nicely say on there how many pounds they are. So this one is a 20-pound one, the red one. So you can choose, and you can also put numerous ones together. You don't just have to use one.
Now, you got questions on there? Any questions? Nothing decent?
How do I buy it? Every time I try to buy Amazon, what's the problem? You should just be able to click the link down below and it should be there.
All right, let's go back and show here. I'm going to show how easy it is to hook one of these up.
If you don't have a wall anchor, they do come with a door stop here. So you can put the door stop, shut it in the door, and do them that way as well.
Oh, good point.
And they also have ankle straps. So if you don't want to use the handles, want to do leg stuff, you can use the ankle straps.
Very good point. I knew I kept you around for a reason.
That's why.
My K. All right. So I just hooked it up to here. All I did is went like this. I pulled it apart a little bit. It goes right on there. No problem. Or versus sticking it through the middle, folding it. I know you're going to have trouble seeing this. And then pulling like that. And now it's really secure. And the handles just clip on. They got these kind of carabiner clips almost.
Boy, this is your height. You should have done this one.
Yeah, I should have done that. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Little man. Okay. All right. So I got this in place. Now this one works at this level when it's on the, about my chest level. Obviously, that's a great way to work the chest. So I'm going to go ahead. And the thing about this, when you work on resistance bands, you actually work your balance too. So I actually put 1 foot forward there, and my core is working now too, in addition to my chest and arms. So again, really high quality. Now, what Brad likes to do, who's not here right now, he likes to flip around like this and also work posture muscles.
Yep, so they're doing some W's right now. We can just do scapular retractions. You can hit every angle with our setup right now. They probably can't see me because you're in the way.
Oh,
You can hit every setup. So if you want to do a type of retraction from a high angle, from a middle angle, from a low angle, you can hit every angle you want with them.
well, the thing about when you have bands like this and wall anchors, you're not restricted to what like a machine is going to make you do, like the movement. You can actually go angles. So you can go up, high, low. You can go low, high. You can hook it up low and go up high. You can get what we call proprioceptive neuro PNF patterns.
There you go.
I haven't said that word in a while. I haven't said that phrase in a while.
I don't think I've ever said the full phrase. I just call them PNFs.
So you can also do functional things like work on boxing. You can work on the actual functional movement. You can also, let's say, you want to work on rotations. I'm going to go ahead and straighten the arm here. Oh my God. And you can stir the pot. Oh, this doesn't look that hard, but it is.
You can also do that kneeling too.
Right, exactly.
Variation. You can add more than one band at a time, which I have set up here. It's probably hard to see, but I actually have two bands set up here in the top ring. You can do whatever. I don't have the handles right now because Bob is hogging them. But you can just do whatever exercises you could think of. I can use the ankle cuffs and I can do ab exercises.
What's the question?
There's a question from Sue. Do you have to use these bands with a wall anchor?
The question from Sue is, do you have to use these bands with a wall anchor? Absolutely not. Mike was just showing there's a connection device that you can hook into your door, like the frame of the door, around the door. And
so this part goes on the other side of the door and you shut it in and then you hook the bands around here. You can do it top of the door, side of the door, bottom. Just make sure your door closes tight.
Right.
Otherwise, if you have something very heavy and sturdy, you can always hook it around that. Like I have a shelving unit built into my wall with 2x4s. I just put the band around that. It works, same concept.
A bed post often works well too, because those are
obviously tables and chairs might move, so
you gotta be careful with that.
You can also for not all
exercises. There's a lot of exercises you can use,
but there's exercises you can just stand on them.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want. But obviously, at certain angles, you're not going to be able to hit without having it on a wall in some way.
A lot more flexible if you have the wall anchors, but I have no problem with you. First try it without the wall anchors and see how it works out. Because maybe the exercises you do don't require the wall anchors, and why spend money if you don't have to? So I'm going to do some triceps here. This is for the, if you have that little bat arms.
Bat arms?
Well, that's what Pat Beckman called it. Bat wings.
Oh, bat wings.
There we go.
You got some arm sag, I guess.
Yeah. But if you want to try to tone them up a little bit underneath your arms, you can do continuous reps. You can do 30 of them if you want on something where you're trying to tone and you're not trying to build muscle.
These are not set up for me.
I would concur on that.
You want to take that down?
Sure. Why don't you want to show an exercise over here, Mike?
Yeah, I could show some more exercises. I mean, you can also do scapular retractions in this way, hit a different angle.
You did really put that in there.
Yeah, I did. I have two of them in there. You can also, hopefully you can see me on the camera. Oh yeah, you can kind of see me. You can sit on the floor and do them as well for more of an angle if you want. You can do one arm at a time. You can do two arms at a time. I mean, when I do these, I might use like all 5 bands, but I work out quite a bit.
Now, for those of you who think you're too strong for this, and you might be, but Tom Brady, who's with Tampa Bay, right? Buccaneers now?
Yeah.
This is the workout that he does. He does a workout with bands. He does not use heavy weights. He found out that it was a lot easier on his joints and that he's able to tolerate. He attributes a lot of his longevity in the sport to the fact that he's using bands. He also uses foam rollers. But what are you doing now, Mike?
I'm hooking him up to my ankle.
Oh, he's going to his ankles now. When you have bands like this and you have the anchor, this is one of the few things that you can do latissimus dorsi. That's the lats on the side here. And really difficult to do those at home unless you have like a big exercise unit. I can't even hardly see you, Mike.
Oh, put the cameras down. I'm too far away.
No, I can see your legs moving, but
You see my legs?
so,
So I'm doing a bridge right now, and I'm actually just pulling to strengthen my hip as well. I guess you could just tilt that down, Danny, if you want. Oh, there we go.
there we go.
Now we
There
cut
it
off
is.
Bob.
So you can see he's actually lifted his butt up in the air.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You could go.
So he's getting kind of a double workout. He's working the hip extensions while he's working the hip abductors, and
You can be as creative as you want. You can flip over. Well, I'd actually have to rotate this.
I think there's literally thousands of exercises you can do.
Yeah, you can be as creative as
It's unlimited. And
you can do. I mean, if you want to do like a spider push-up with the resistance in your legs, you can do that as well. I mean, you could just
I'm
do
impressed.
knees to chest this way. You do whatever you want with them. And I could also hook up like 4 or 5 bands of this if I wanted to, but I might fall over.
Right. That'll be a real challenge. If you want to take it back up again, Danny. Hi.
The difficulties of a
Come on
6'6"
in.
man.
We're talking about the wall anchor. We're talking about the exercise, our exercise bands. So the Bob and brand. Again, whenever we put our name on something, we want to make sure it's very high quality. Now, I was mentioning before that you could do your lats at home. So you hook up to the wall anchor on top, and you put that as high as you can still reach and put the band on there. But I actually like to get down on my knees to do these to make sure. I mean, I'm a tall guy, 6'6", so I need to get my height under control. So we're gonna go ahead and pull down like this, and this is a great way to do lats. My wife, she actually used to belong to a gym just so she could perform these. Honest to God, she really liked the lat pull downs, and she couldn't do them at home. And now we got them at home, so she no longer goes to the gym.
I guess we should mention these also come with a carrying bag, and they're super portable. So if you travel a lot, or you're in hotels a lot, or you're camping or something, I brought these camping ones.
Did you really?
Yeah, I hooked them around a tree.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And that's all you need to do. I wanted some way to do resistance training when I was gone for a week besides running, so I brought them on. And this also, if you like poor hand grip for some reason, you can actually use those ankle things around your wrists as well.
Oh, good idea.
So, I mean, if you want to do some form of exercise.
Well, you're full of good ideas, Mike.
You could literally just make up whatever you want with these.
Well, if you want to work your core without lying on the floor, without doing sit-ups, here I'm grabbing both at the same time, and I'm bending forward. I'm keeping my back straight.
Yeah, he's flexing his core there.
But this is working my abdominal muscles.
Yeah, he's not pulling down.
Yeah, he's got a question.
Wendy wants to know, can we do that exercise in a chair?
Wendy wants to know if you can do the exercise in a chair. Yeah. Absolutely. You can do an entire series of exercises in a chair. Mike's going to grab the chair. You can do, this one.
You can literally do any of those. You can do what Bob's doing. You can
right.
do this. The only thing, if you don't have enough distance, you might have to, say
move the chair.
Yeah. You might have to move the
That's one of the beauties of the bands is, and that really rolls out the tongue. You can get the band.
Tricep. Obviously, the further away you get,
the more resistance you get.
So with bands, they're kind of nice because when you're at the end range, you actually have the most amount of resistance, which is what you want. When you're at your end range this way, you're typically a lot weaker, so there's actually not much resistance. So that's typically why there's less injuries with bands compared to free weights.
Right.
I mean, I'm not hating on free weights. I use them too, but
no. The other thing is if you use machines, they're set up so they're going to move your joint in a specific pattern, and that pattern may not fit your body type. When you do it with bands, you can move it to what fits your body type.
Just make sure you're stably planted in your chair. If you're not steady, you can tip. Obviously, if you're too weak. So, just a FYI.
One thing that my other partner, Brad, likes to do, he actually takes the bands like this and he'll run. He'll actually do a running program with the band, and it provides some resistance, and he can run forward and backwards and sidestepping and the whole bit.
We should say every color band, they're not just made to look pretty and be different colors. They're all a different amount of resistance. Depending upon which pack you buy, they're a different resistance. Like I said earlier in the video, if you look at them, they actually say the amount of poundage of resistance on them. And you can combine numerous bands to one clip. That's the beauty with these things.
Yeah, and I generally, isn't it true, Mike? The darker the band is, the more resistance it is.
Yep. So yellow is always easy, at least with ours. Other companies might be different. Then it's red, green. Then it is a blue. No, sorry, I said that backwards. Yellow, red, blue, green, black. So it's a little different than TheraBand because TheraBand is actually green's easier.
Now, if you're a golfer, which I claim to be,
I'm a frolfer.
not very good. What does that actually help with frolfing too?
That's
You're
different.
trying
mechanics.
to improve your rotational strength of your abdomen. So look at what you're doing here. You're going, when you're going to throw that disc, you got to rotate the body. And a lot of the force has to come from the trunk.
I would say another thing too, when you stand on them, obviously, I'll show for. Oh, Amazon can't see my feet. The closer my feet are, the easier it is. If I widen the band's wider. Now it's harder.
Yeah, show the side stepping with that one, Mike. That's a really popular one we like to do. Yeah, like that.
You can sidestep like this. Work your hip abductors. I'm working my biceps at the same time and my abs. I can feel my butt. This is weird.
Yeah,
I never do this.
Oh, you don't do this one? It's a functional one.
I mean, you can even have a squat
A lot of soccer players do like
component to
this.
this. I mean, you can even do like shoulder stuff if you want. Obviously, that's a little harder, but as creative as you want.
I have it hooked up on the lower one now, and it's a great one to do curls now. Again, I'm going to work my balance a bit and my core, and I can work curls.
If you are just tuning in, he's connected to these black wall anchors, by the way, which we talked about earlier in the video.
Yeah, these wall anchors, they can withstand 800 pounds of pressure. I mean, Mike was showing before, you can hang on these things.
Yeah, you can put all your weight on.
And that's why you want to make sure when you install them that you install them into a stud. You're going to use a stud finder.
Not a stud like me, but a stud in the wall.
Not like a. Yeah, let's be clear. A question. Danny has a question.
Nancy wants to know, how long do bands last before they need replacing?
That's a good question. Nancy wants to know how long bands last before they need replacing. It can vary a lot. One thing, you're not supposed to put them in the sun.
Or extreme cold.
Or extreme cold because they could crack.
Yeah.
You have to, what you want to do is actually examine the band every time before you use it.
Yeah.
To make sure there's no tears in it, or because they won't last forever.
I mean, I've had a pair for probably 2 years, and they're still fine and functioning. It also depends how much you use them.
Right, exactly.
How much you use them, how much you pull on them. They are going to give way. Obviously, like ours will have a warranty. If they snap right away,
right.
Look at the warranty on them. But yeah, they're not going to last forever.
Nancy, I wish we could give you a solid answer on this, but there's so many variables. I know Brad, who likes to use these a lot. He uses them 3 times a week. He's had them for a couple of years too without any problems. We've had some other types in the past that have snapped fairly quickly. And so that's why we wanted to make sure the quality was going to be pretty decent.
I mean, if you don't have a wall anchor, you can always just throw it on your back as well.
That's right. Now this is a little overhead. This is one I like to do, Mike, too, is kettlebell swings.
Oh, yeah, you're doing a...
So you grab both handles like this.
So he's doing a hip thruster, basically, just in a different way. So it's similar, mimicking a deadlift motion, obviously. But with this, you want the resistance to be coming from behind you.
What's the question, Danny?
This is from Sharia.
How
do you use it to tone upper arm flab / bat wings?
And there we go.
On his bat wings.
We're actually going to do a video on this on Monday. But the biggest thing you want to do, you're trying to get the tricep. Mike, you want to hold your arm up once so I can show.
This one?
Well, show up like this.
Oh, my
yeah. Now this, is normally what people talk about, the bat wings. And we're trying to tone this area. That's triceps. So all you have to do, I'm going to go ahead and put this up.
You want to straighten your arm with the resistance coming from behind you.
Right.
Triceps.
So I would probably use the middle anchor. I'm going to put it to the middle anchor. And I'm gonna flip around like this, and you can do these every day. I mean, especially if you're doing toning,
Yeah, you can hit different body parts every day too.
Right.
Try to give one a break.
but you can work them both at the same time if you're in a hurry, or you can work one at a time. You can see that from the side here. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yes, he's just extending his
And
arm.
that's going to work the tricep. I would work biceps too because you want to tone the entire arm. And that's going to give you that look, a lot more tone throughout it, as opposed to just toning to the back of the
You can
arm.
also do it backwards like this.
Yeah.
So the main thing is just to keep your elbows in, try not to flare out. And I'm just bringing them straight. So these
Yeah.
are called like a kickback.
The upper arm is really not moving. It's the lower arm that's straightening, and the movement is coming from there.
And if you don't like bending over, you can do I'll show you this way so you can see me, but you can do them this way as well. So I'm just, as long as the resistance is coming from the opposite direction of straightening your arm, you will work your triceps. You can also work your biceps if you want a bit, then you're just going to flex your arm.
You're a baseball player here.
He's trying to punch me here.
Yeah. I'll get to it yet.
Well, should we get on the loop bands?
Sure. Let's talk about some loop bands.
We're going to switch products. We're still going to use the wall anchors. They're just another form of a resistance band called a loop band.
You're
or
talking about the large loop bands?
Yep, or a pull-up resistance band. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, we're on Amazon Live. I put the stream down there. Just go to Amazon Live. We should pop up. The stream might be a little better over there if you want to go there.
Now, Mike, we always sold 5 bands. I think we're not selling the green band anymore because the price has gone up so much that we want to still give you a value for your money. And so for a while, I believe we're not going to include the green band, which is a really thick, heavy band. I used it for mobilizations and stuff like that, but I didn't use it for strengthening. So you're going to get
Yes, you are going to get
a purple band.
So there's 4 levels. There's yellow, red, black, and purple.
And purple. And the yellow is very thin and easy to use. The red is the next easiest level. And then we're moving up to the black and then the purple. So what's nice about these is you can absolutely use these without an anchor.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of exercise you can do.
And they also come with clip-on handles if you want to use them with handles.
Right. I'm going to have you hold on to that.
These are only $16.99, so they're... oh, no, that's a strap strap. Sorry, these are not that low. They are...
I was going to say, that's really a bargain.
They are $40. Sorry, $40.
And before, we were getting the question of how long the bands last. These, I have trouble seeing that they would break. I mean, eventually they may.
Yeah, I mean, if you do a lot of heavy pulling. They also come with a door anchor as well, like in the other band system, so you can hook them into a door.
These are really heavy duty. Maybe the thin one could break eventually. But
So they're called loop because they're an actual continuous nonstop loop compared to the other bands.
So Brad likes to do this one where he actually puts it under his feet like this and then does squats.
And Bob's doing like back version, and if you look, my band is in front.
Right.
So I'm doing the front. Like, this isn't much resistance for me because I do a lot.
Oh, what a breaker we have today.
I wish we had the green one, but you can do a split squat. So if you put it here, one leg, and then you're at least getting some resistance when you're going up. You can also do numerous bands if you can hold them all.
This is a great one for at the office, Mike. You can actually do it. Well, no,
Is this what you do at the office?
Well, you can. When you take a break, you take one of the smaller bands like this, and you do pull aparts.
If you have a mean coworker, you can make a pretty good slingshot out of these too and
There
shoot
you go.
something at them. Hey!
So anyway, Mike, I want you to show on me how this is all about me.
Oh,
I want you to show how I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together.
so he's squeezing right in here, his scapular area. So he's going to strengthen his posterior delt, his rhomboids, his middle trap area. And this is a posture exercise. So it's an easy way to do it. Obviously, like, purple's going to be a lot harder than the red. But
Oh, you wanted to show that, didn't
Also,
you? You were just waiting for the
the
one.
closer you grab, the harder it is to pull. And
Right.
the further out you grab, the easier it's going to be.
And you can actually just grab half of it, like this, and it'll make it even easier.
And these all have poundage forces on them as well. So like this purple one is rated from 35 pounds to 85 pounds. So what it means is, when you're right here, this is only like 35 pounds of force. When I'm more up here, it's going to be more toward like 85 pounds of force. So
Now you can see we can do biceps with these. Again, what's nice about these, they're somewhat, you can use them with the wall anchor, but they're somewhat contained in themselves. Danny has a question for us.
We have a question. They would like to know the brand for Snap Safe bands, if you remember what the brand would be.
Yeah, that was.
I have no idea. These are all Bob and Brad bands.
Yeah. Well, the problem I had with the Snap ones that they were anti-snap or something like that, and I have no trouble if you want to get those, but they would actually break easier. They wouldn't hurt you because they have a little cord inside, so when it snaps,
Yeah.
it actually doesn't snap you. But the problem with it is they wore out quicker, especially when you used them on our wall anchor.
Yeah, did the resistance wear
So
out
we had to
around?
stop recommending those because of that issue. But I have no problem with you getting those. And like I said, you can take away all the worry then that they're not going to snap on you because they have a little cord inside that holds. Oh, Mike's doing another exercise here.
You can do whatever you want with these things. Get as creative as you want. You can do.
Now, if you want to use them with the anchor, especially the thinner ones, you can either slide into the slots like this, and then again, you can use the handles that come with it, or you can just grab the handle or the loop itself and do, again, I'm going to show how you can do some core with this. This is called stirring the pot. It really works really well. Mike's going to take it up a little higher because I'm
6'6".
6'6". All right. What about, want to take those handles out once, Mike?
Yeah, we can put the handles on here. So all you do is hook the handles on. They're going to slide around because there's no clip point, but it's kind of nice because you can vary the width of your grip.
Actually, I was going to show another reason for using them, but
Well, fine, go ahead.
We'll start with that first.
You can go, so they slide. So you can go narrow, and you can just put them out wider, and you can make it wider. It's going to change the amount of resistance you have for any exercise you're doing with them. Obviously, these are made just for upper body arm exercises, but you can also connect it to the wall anchor as well.
Yeah, what I like about these clips, Mike, maybe hold on to that, and is these clips can actually clip right into the center of the wall anchor. So you can actually, well, here, why don't I do this? I'm going to take the handle off of it, and I'm going to put the strap on there. And what's nice is then you can take a really thick strap. You have one of the thick ones?
That is a thick one.
Oh, yeah, that is still a very thick one. And now I got the strap on here, and I can go like this and
Put right in there.
really make it easy. There we go. Yeah, I got it. Takes a little jiggling.
Takes a lot of jiggling there, Robert.
I always got to remember how to do this. There we go.
There, you got it on there.
The thing is, once this is in place, you can actually do mobilizations with it too, which is more advanced.
Yeah.
But you obviously can grab the handles and this is really some heavy duty resistance though. So this is for the beefier guys or beefier girls out there.
Yeah, you can get as creative as you want with these as well. These are made to help with pull-up assistance.
Oh yeah, exactly.
As well. I mean, I can take this off. You want to show that?
Well, we need a pull bar.
Can't you just hook it up?
Oh yeah, we could do that.
How did you get this on there?
It does take a little work to do that. I'll keep talking, Mike, while you work on that.
Got it.
So, just as you can do posture really easy in your desk, you can actually do chest muscle here at your desk. You can do it seated, you can do it standing, but you can see how I'm working the chest muscles and also a bit of the triceps. So okay, Danny's got a question.
We got a question from YouTube from LB.
From LB, a question from LB. How, LB?
He's wondering how they could assist you in doing pull-ups.
Oh, we're trying to hook that up right now.
Okay.
You would typically hook this up to a pull-up bar.
Right.
But what you do is, so I'm hooked up to the wall anchors here. It's not going to go anywhere. You can either put it, I'll show this way so you can see me. You can put it on your knee, or you can put it on the bottom of your foot. And then if I had a bar up here to pull up on, it helps you go up. So
Grab the pull-up one.
grab the pull-up handles.
This is going to demonstrate also how durable these things are, because we actually have a device you can hook up. Sorry, we're not selling it today, but you can hook up to the actual.
Well, that's where I have those going into.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was going to handle all that.
It's got to be through the front.
You just put that one out, though.
Huh?
He said you just put that band out.
Let me go lower that.
Yeah, go to the lower one. There we go.
Okay. Mike, I'll have you do it.
So we got the handles here. We got the foot in there. So if I'm doing a pull-up,
This helps amazingly.
so what it's going to do is it's going to slingshot you up if you
Yeah.
have trouble doing a pull-up. So I'm all the way down, and once you start going up, it makes it easier, so it helps you.
Really, it makes you feel like you're a superhero, because you can just rip off these.
I'm so tall.
If you've never done pull-ups before, it's a great way to start, because you'll
So here,
get the muscle memory and the
I'm
nerves.
barely holding with my arms right now. My legs are taking a brunt of it with the band, and then you go up. It works just like this.
You can impress all your friends by doing 30 pull-ups in a row.
Yeah, and you can hook both legs in here as well. For the pull-up assistance, if you need a lot, you're going to want the heavy-duty band. I wouldn't try the little yellow band with this.
What I like about this, Mike, is actually if you want to learn how to do pull-ups, which I think pull-ups are really gangster, right? Oh man, is that a bad term?
I'll
to
just
use?
say they're important.
Yeah. So
Very functional.
they're really cool when you can do pull-ups when you get older.
Involved in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the 90s. So you can do lat pull-downs first to help strengthen.
Do you want those out of there? So
No, leave those in right now.
You're going to bash your
I'm
head.
going to do those yet. I'm going to do those. So then you get pulled down
You
and
all
work
heard
on
me say
lats.
it if they fall on his head. No,
Huh?
they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere.
They're locked in.
And then you can go to the, add on the loop to assist with the pull-ups.
Yeah.
So, but, when you're 60 years old and you can still do some pull-ups, I think that's
pretty good.
gangster, baby.
He likes Coolio as well. What's the next question?
Jenna would like to know how long they are. She's
Jenna wants to know how long they
The bands
are.
are? Well, should we measure?
I don't think they give us
It says, I'm 5 foot and I don't want to have them stretch over my head to get a stretch and it being too loose. To
She's
do a
5
bicep
foot
stretch.
tall and she doesn't want it to be too loose.
I am 5'10" and they come up to my waist. So
Well,
if that
are they all
gives
the
you
same?
if that gives you any type of idea, let me see. Black one is my waist. That one's maybe a hair higher.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, so about half of
5 feet would be about right here. You're 5 foot how?
I'm 5'10".
Ah, you're not 5 foot
I'm
10.
5'10", Mr. 6'6". Although with the depth perception, I almost look your height right now.
If you use them with the wall anchors, it doesn't matter how long they are because you can step away further from the wall and it'll still give you resistance.
And if you're doing like an exercise like this where you're stepping on it, all you have to do is widen your feet up.
Yeah, spread your feet apart.
And then it's not going to be able to go as high. It's going to be harder. Where if I was narrow, this is easier. If
Right.
I'm like way out here, like this is harder.
Yeah, so if you're 5 feet tall, so.
Yep, so you just have to get creative with how much resistance you're adding to it, depending upon the stretch of them.
Maybe it'll grow when you use these things too. Because,
Is that what happened to you?
yeah, I was only 4 feet tall and I started using these and I expanded. Do we want to go to another product?
Sure, under the booty bands.
Sure, booty bands.
So this one you don't need a wall anchor or anything else. We call them the booty bands, but their real name is resistance bands for legs and butt. These are the Bob and Brad ones. I will click on those.
There's one more question that just popped up on it.
Let's hear the question.
So Bob showed us how to do a shoulder stretching exercise with these. Can he demonstrate it? I have the bands, but I can't find the videos.
The shoulder stretching
exercise with the bands.
Well, I don't know about shoulder stretching. There's a lot of shoulder strengthening.
Maybe that's what they meant.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Let me go ahead and put some bands up on top here.
Sure.
Now, I'm not even sure which band. One of the exercises we really like to do for shoulders is external rotation with the arm at a right angle. So if I take this red band here, and I'll just hook it up to the. You got a big mess here, Mike. You didn't want a mess. I remember.
Just pick one up. There you go.
All right, so I'm just going to hook it up here. Now, this is probably one of the most important exercises you can do for your shoulder, for shoulder pain, because this is strengthening the rotator cuff, two of the muscles of the rotator cuff, and they help hold the shoulder in place, the humerus in the socket, and by doing so, it's going to work right. It's not going to impinge as easy. So you start with your arm at a right angle, and you bring it out, and you're going to bring it out like this. What you don't want is the arm winging out from the side. Sometimes we even have people put a towel underneath the arm, and if they do it wrong, the towel falls down. So I put my arm there, and I just do external rotation, keeping the right angle.
Now, if you actually want to stretch your shoulder with this, you could. You just lasso it around your back like so, and then you can pull your arm up.
Oh, sure.
To do that.
That's a good stretch to do, is the one that Mike is doing for internal rotation of the shoulder.
If you're lacking.
Yeah, so
say one arm's way down here, and the other arm can get up here. You could stretch this one by grabbing it, switching sides here, and just pulling up with my good shoulder to what's comfortable.
as far as I sometimes do a mobilization with these bands, and I'll hook them up to the top. And what I'll do then is I'll actually grab like this, put my hand through it, and I grab on like this. And now I usually use heavier bands to do this,
Sure.
but I'll do pulls like this, and it'll really help mobilize the shoulder.
Yeah, so he's actually getting this shoulder. He's getting some distraction in there.
Right. But this is too small of a band to do this. You really want a heavy band to do
I mean,
that.
you could even stretch your external rotators if you're going straight out at a 90-degree angle.
Extension too. You can just go like this and
walk
stretch
out.
it.
With
extend
either
it.
band, he's using the loop bands, I'm using the normal resistance bands, and stretch your shoulder. Danny, there's a question from someone?
Yep, we got a question from Dixie on Facebook.
Dixie, hi Dixie from
Okay.
Facebook.
Can any of these products help with pain in the hip rotator, not the flexor?
Okay, we're going into that.
We're going to go into the Bombrad loop bands, which will work your hip, external rotators, internal rotators, abductors.
These are the ones you're going to want to use now. They have really thin loop bands that they work fine too, but the problem with those, here we go.
They're right here. These are the typical TheraBand loop bands.
When you put them on, they roll up on your leg.
These are the ones we're talking about. So these actually have a grip on the inside of them, so they stick to your pants or your legs if your skin is showing. If you have hair, it might pull your hair a little bit, just a FYI, but they don't slide around. So these actually come in a 3-pack with different resistances. We got pink, purple, and like a light green. We don't have the light green here. We have some older prototype ones that are black and gray, but it's the same thing. But these are all different variations of resistance. So the purple is the heaviest. It is 40 to 50 pounds of resistance. The medium is a pink. It's 25 to 35 pounds of resistance. And then the light green, which we don't have, is 14 to 25 pounds. So you use easier ones to start with and get harder.
So it comes as a set.
Yeah, it comes
Right.
as a 3-pack.
Yeah.
And it is only $18.
I want to show one of these loop bands how it just rolls right up and it rolls down when you're using it. Again, because it has kind of a grip on it, these loop bands, they actually stay in place and they're really comfortable. I was really impressed. We actually have a girl that does our workout videos, Jordan, and she really likes these. She had first been exposed to it in our channel. And
So these bands, even in the title, are made for legs and butt. They're not really for upper body at all. I guess you can get creative, but they're not really meant for that. So these, you typically put it around above your knees, It's going to be a little easier closer to your buttock. It's going to be a little harder closer to your knees. If you get down here, you can do it for some exercises, but not all of them. But all it does is it incorporates your hip abductors while you're doing different exercises. So say you're a knock-knee person when you squat. So you're squatting like this. What you want to do is you want to get your external rotators going and your hip abductors to point. So if you push against the bands, they'll tell you to engage those muscles. So if I'm squatting like this and I want to fix it, push out to the band, it teaches me where to what muscles to engage.
Yeah, it's really important to have that external rotation with all sports like jumping, volleyball, or basketball.
If I don't, you can see how like my posture starts getting more flexed over.
But when people land, their legs go in like this, and that's undesirable. That's hard on the knees.
And you're prone to injury that way as well.
I'm going to put the pink one on, Mike. Cause,
you're about to call me Brad. I almost heard it.
I almost heard
that B syllable.
I kept away from it.
You can do standing, laying down. You can kind of do seated with these.
Again, it has a nice material that it's non-slip.
You can do just standing hip abduction. You can do sidestepping with like a squat in with them. You can just do squat repetitions with them. You can also do monster steps, they call them.
You want to bring it down again, Mike or Danny?
Danny. I can't monster step, you're in the way.
I'm down on the floor now, and I'm actually, you can do clamshells. You can do hip abduction.
Yep. He can lay on his stomach.
I can lay on my stomach and do glutes.
So
I can go straight up.
Yep, isolate his buttock more.
I can go up the quadruped position and come up like this.
Yep, even harder yet.
Harder yet. I can do, what's that called? Dog and a fire hydrant.
Fire hydrant. So hip abducting.
Hip
rotating
abduction.
is like out like this with the rotation component to them. All these you can try standing too. Obviously they kind of vary, but.
Well, there's a reason they call booty bands because they're going to help your booty.
Yeah, you can also do like bridges with them.
Yeah, very good one.
And then you can do whatever variation of a bridge you want. So, and obviously, if it becomes easy with one band, just use a harder resistance for them.
Now you can do quadricep and hamstring here, a little more difficult, but in a seated position, I'm actually working the quads and hamstrings
these
right
are
now.
actually, so these are like a cotton polyester material. They're very elastic and stretchy. Like the bands we talk about, they're all latex, just a FYI. So if you have a latex allergy, we do not have latex-free ones. But,
Well, these aren't latex.
no, these are not. These are cotton. But the bands, the loop bands we were talking about earlier, and the other resistance bands do have latex in them. Just a FYI.
Yeah, these are very comfortable, and if you want a shapely booty, this is the device for you because it's going to be comfortable and it's easy to use, and it'll give you plenty of resistance. So.
Well, we still got 2 more products to talk about.
Well, let's keep going then.
All right, we're switching topics again. You gonna do the stretch strap?
Sure.
I guess we'll go back to the floor. Back to the floor.
So we looked at stretch straps for a long time. The things we don't like about some of the other ones, they're really thin, and I like it that you can get. The thing is, if you look at the loops on this,
we have 12 loops.
Yeah, the loops are easy to get your feet in because they got it bowed out here. Do you see that, Mike?
Yeah, and you can also count how far you're going for each stretch. So if you're trying to stretch more, like maybe one day you had to go way out here, and then the next week you're all of a sudden at another hole. I mean, it's an easy way to show progression that way as well. Yeah, you just loop them into whatever leg you want to stretch out. You can do stretches standing, laying down.
Yeah, the thing about this is,
like I could just get a calf stretch.
If you have arthritic hands, you can actually put your hands through the loops too, and you can put resistance on the bigger joints as opposed to the small joints.
Yeah, these are nice because like you can lift your leg up and go like this. So this is more for stretching. It's not really like for strengthening. I mean, you could add resistance going down, but this is more for stretching. It's not stretchy or elastic. It's very firm.
The other thing we like about it, it's very slippery. So you can actually slide it along your body if you need to.
Yeah. I mean, I know Brad likes to do this stretch where you just this quad stretch variation, but just hook on here I just grab with this hand
And you
here.
can slide along his back real easy here.
And you can just sit like this comfortably.
Yep.
Get your rectus femoris so your quads. You can hear me talking to the wall.
These stretch straps are really strong. They're really. Brad and I took it and we hung it on a wall anchor, and I hung on one side and he hung on the other side, and it held up. So that's 400 pounds.
I think it's a nylon material.
I bet you're right. And what's nice about these is
nylon webbing.
they're very portable. You can roll this up and put it in your pocket. I mean, so like if you're going,
stretch your arms going back like this.
If you're going on a run or if you're going to a race, you can actually have it in your pocket and take it out.
If it's cold out, you don't have a scarf.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Don't do that.
Mike, do you want to take it up a little bit? And give me.
By the way, these are $17 if anyone is wondering. If you're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, we're on Amazon Live, so you can check us out over there. Now the products in there are actually featured, so you can see them easier.
I've been posting links.
Oh, Danny's been posting links.
Danny is on the ball.
He's taking care of us.
Yes, he is. So another thing is if you want to work the hips and you're lying down, you can actually, because a lot of people don't have their arm reach to reach your leg, they can actually put underneath their knee. And again, if you have arthritic hands, you can actually pull it up like that and stretch that way. I also like this for doing things like stretching your neck, believe it or not. So we actually take this sometimes, and one exercise that we often have people work on is going back like this, but it hurts when they do it. So we actually have them take it and use both hands like this and go back like this, and they'll find it a lot more comfortable. Big Mike.
Sure. So you're actually giving a slight resistance pulling forward with your arms, and then you're going back
and you can
like
try it
this.
at different levels. Like let's say that the first one hurts, try it
So
lower.
now I'm down more.
Yeah.
Now I'm going more under base of my skull, pulling up, and then kind of going like
And
this.
I actually use it for rotations too. Usually I switch arms. Like,
Oh, there we go. I
so
was like,
see how I
something-
switched arms there?
Something's weird. So my right arm is pulling in,
This is pulling down,
it's pulling down.
and that pulls to the side. There we go.
So I'm using my hand to help. So say you turn your neck to here and it hurts, but you want to stretch a little bit, just pull a little bit with your arms in. You can do this with a towel too, but it's a little easier with this.
This works really well because it doesn't slide on the skin. It kind of holds.
And you can do shoulder stretches with this like we showed before.
Yes, this is where it's really
So you can-
handy.
Pull up like this. You can even hook your wrist through here and do that as well. So it's just basically for stretching. Any age group could benefit
If
from
you have
this.
trouble hooking your bra, no,
All the
that's
time.
That's a big problem for many women because their shoulder is sore. They can bring one arm way up and they can't bring the other arm up. Now, we don't ever want you to feel pain while doing those. You can stretch until you start to feel pain and then you back off. Don't enter the pain cave, as we like to say.
You also use as a leg lifter, I guess, if you have a knee replacement.
There we go.
Handy.
It goes on and on. Oh, you can also stretch the calf muscle. Mike, you want to show that?
Yeah, so you can just loop it around.
You're going to have to lift up the leg a little bit.
So I'll pretend my leg's on a stool or something, but all you do to stretch your calf then would be to pull your toes towards your nose. So this is actually, the length of it is 60 3/4 inches. So it's pretty long. I mean,
Yes.
Bob can stretch with it, and he's 6'6". And wait, no, that's the Booyah stick. I don't know what the length of this is. Bob can use it.
You want me to stand and see how tall it is?
Yes. Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
taller than Bob.
it's way
We're
past
off
6'6".
camera. It's that tall.
That's an 8-foot high ceiling, right?
I don't know. Sure.
So that's more than 8 feet. So,
Dan
plenty of
knows
length.
by reaching. Yeah.
all
Here's
right.
the
Question.
Question.
This is LB on YouTube.
LB again. That's short for pound.
Well,
LB.
Can you use the strap for isometric exercises as well?
you
The
can.
question is, can you use it for isometric exercises? You certainly can. I don't know if it was designed for that, but absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, because it has no flexibility whatsoever. It's Like you have to get very creative. I mean, with your legs, you could do it.
I'm not a big fan of isometric exercises to a large extent because you're only strengthening the muscle in that one range. You have to stretch it. If you want to get the entire range.
Yeah, I'd have to pull here for hold it for 30 seconds. I'd have to pull here for 30 seconds. I'd have to try it way back here.
Exactly.
Those who don't know isometric, it means you have resistance, but you're not moving. It's like you're trying to push a wall with all your strength, but it's not moving.
If you had a painful joint, sometimes isometric is good.
Yeah.
You're not moving the joint.
Most of the time, we only see it is after like a rotator cuff repair.
Right.
That's typically the only time we really
start
see
off
it in
with
therapy.
that. Exactly.
I mean, they work. Some people get great benefits from isometrics, like physique-wise.
I'm going to show another one, Mike. You can actually works on really well on the mid-back too, believe it or not, for a good stretch. We actually bring it around like this.
Oh, yeah, you can do press-ups too with that.
Yeah, you can do press-ups with it. But you can actually, again, I'm going to assume you have bad hands, maybe arthritic hands, but you actually hit the mid-back like this and you pull back like this. And by pulling up, you actually get a little distraction at the mid-back. And you get a little pressure on, pressure off, pressure on, pressure off. And you can hit different parts of the back. You can hit the low back lying flat on your stomach and get it across. You want to do it? Go ahead.
Just do a press up like this. So you're going to want to get it on your back first if you're by yourself.
Right.
And then you want to put it around your back. Do it different ways. Hold it there, and then you can press up into it like this.
It's one of the things we suggest as an advanced movement when you have like sciatica or even just regular old back pain.
Yeah, so you start with just mini ones without resistance.
Yeah, and then you
eventually
advance
full, then eventually to holding something. You can use a bed sheet or towel for this as well, but this is an option if you have one of these already.
So we've done videos on this where you can actually, pretty much stretch the whole body. There's. Mike's going to flip it back up again. Well, Mike, how are we doing for time?
Doing all right. Why don't we go to Booyah stick, though, because we're almost at an hour already.
All right, the next one is the Booyah stick.
Probably the longest lasting Bob and Brad product. So this is on OPTP. We also sell them on the website.
A little bit more, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Amazon's getting a close-up of me. There we go.
Now, again, I don't want to recommend anything that I don't think is going to help you. You certainly can start with a broomstick and maybe some tape on each ends of it, or if you got a PVC pipe, you can put some tips on it or stretch on the tape on the ends. But we have found eventually, if you want to use it a lot, these are really high quality. They got a kind of a non-grip, a non-slide,
non-slip. They have more grip, so right. If I actually try to turn it, like my palms grip into it.
But really, what we have found, besides doing balance activities with it, it really works well for shoulders. And one of our favorite shoulder ones is, we call it the Statue of Liberty. So what you do, if you're shorter like Mike, 5'10" only, which he says he's 5'10".
I am too, look at my license.
But what you're going to do is you're actually going to get some distraction at the shoulder by leaning forward, and you're really going to lean into it. And that's going to pull the shoulder. This works well for a shoulder impingement.
We're pushing down into the floor while we're doing this. So the stick is forcefully pushing down, and then you're slowly bringing this forward as you go.
Yeah, and you don't let the arm slide down like this. You keep the position. Now, what I did with many of my patients who had arthritis in the shoulder and could only go up this high, I have them take this home, and I have them walk up with their hands, walk up the pole as high as they can, and then stretch. And then after they stretched a while, I have them walk up a little higher and stretch again. They were always so pleased when they come back in, because they could show me how much they had gained by stretching higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, we would give these to our patients and just have them use them until they didn't need them anymore, or they had their own way. The reason they have the rubber tips is so if you're pushing down, they don't slide on you. So that way, if you have a broomstick, like get some type of something that grips on the bottom at least, so it doesn't slide on you.
Right.
There's many other uses for this. You could just do active assistive like shoulder exercises
well,
with this as well.
Right. I like if you're going to do the Statue of Liberty and you're a little bit taller, I actually put it on the chair like this and then lean forward.
Yeah, all I'm doing
Really,
is bringing it up, and then if you had to say my left arm was bad and I can only lift it to here, my right arm is going to take over and start helping it to get what's comfortable. Obviously, if it hurts, I'm going to stop.
originally you might have started with the hands really close together.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you won't be able to do it. If you follow Robin McKenzie, his book, How to Treat Your Own Shoulder, one of the first ones that he has you do is actually extension. So you bring the arm back like this and in a pain-free range. But this works really well for that. You can actually go like this, and you seated or standing. But he has you do this like every hour if you can. And eventually you find, even though you're going in the opposite direction, it actually makes the shoulder feel better. And I have found many, many patients who got better because they increased the motion in the shoulder once again, and they got it moving like it should with proper coordination. So, any questions? Any?
These can be used for lots of different stretches as well. Like we showed, this stretches every option.
Yeah.
You can do this again. But I know you like to do posture squats with this. So
Yeah, that's where it works out well too. Again, because it's slippery, it can slide along the back when he's doing that.
They're just having you keep 3 points of contact, your buttock region, the back of your head, and then your shoulder area.
Yeah, what Mike is showing here is we're trying to teach people to do squats the correct way. And so what we do is we actually have him do a few squats with a Booyah stick. And he's got a point of contact hitting the head, hitting the mid-back, and hitting on the pelvis. And this forces you to keep your back straight, and you learn how to bend over correctly then. It's funny, I showed my wife this, and just the visualization helped her keep straight. She's like, she pictured that in place.
Yeah.
You don't have to do these all the time.
Heads are chopped off.
I know, just once in a while.
There we go. All they can see our ceiling.
So again, I keep everything in place. Really a good one to do for the back. It teaches you to do it correctly. And I also like this one, Mike, where you actually just bring it back like this, and really, for a posture, really stretches the chest muscle.
Yeah.
And plus, you're kind of squeezing the shoulder blades together.
Yeah, sometimes for shoulder warm-up before I work out, I'll do this.
Right.
But typically, you have to grab really wide for this. If I was here, I can't do it, so I have to go wider. But this is more for, stretching and mobilizations. This obviously isn't a strengthening device, but...
I have to tell a quick story, Mike. So, my son, who's 25, 26 now.
Is he older than that?
No, he's only
I'm old, I guess. All right.
But anyway, he helped me we took some photographs of this stick, and they were laughing about this stick. And like a half a year later, he asked me if I could send him one because he wanted to use it for stretching.
I thought it was pretty bizarre, too, when I first started seeing. I'm not going to lie. But they're nice.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that they're as expensive as they are. Unfortunately, to ship them costs more. To store them costs more. Everything costs more.
They're over 60 inches long, so they're pretty long. So you're gonna have a different box, and then they're 1 1/4 inch diameter. For those of you wondering, and they're $49.95 for one of them.
I had hoped that we could make them for a lot less, but it just can't be done. I mean, we don't make very much money on these, and that's all right. We're just trying to help people.
But that's why they offer trying a broomstick first, and if you really like it, want to get one, you can. You don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you can do a lot of balance activities with these. I use it when I do my squats on a slant board, and I actually squat way down. It just gives me a little support while I'm doing it. You can do hip flexion, abduction, extension, giving you a little balance and a little safety. Because we never want you to fall. We want safety comes first.
Yeah, you can use it as a balance tool for any exercise you want. Or you can point or hit people with it too.
I want to show another exercise, Mike. This is the one I invented. It's called, Mike Mike, you're aware of it, I think, called the chicken wing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Brad came up with the name chicken wing because I guess it's a wrestling maneuver. But this is a little complicated, but I'm going to show it to you. It's really good for shoulder impingement. And I have had more people that were skeptical of this, that it didn't work. And first off, it worked on me. That's why I felt pretty confident about it. And then Brad was really skeptical about it. And he found out, he tried it, it worked on him. And it worked on my wife. And I've had more people comment how this one helped their shoulder impingement. So let's say this is my problematic shoulder, the one on the left here. I actually grab it like this, and I can start by doing slides like this, like I'm working up in internal rotation. But eventually what I want to do is the upper hand, this one's pointed out, the palm out, this one's pointed palm in, and I actually lift it like this. Don't hit your head. Go on the side of your head like this, and you're going to crank it up like this. And if you're able to do it, you actually bring your hand up further and further.
Yeah, the further down his hand is, the easier it's going to be.
Now, I wouldn't do this on somebody who has loose ligaments, a loose shoulder, double jointed.
Dislocated.
Yeah, or if you have rheumatoid arthritis, because you're going to have loose shoulders. I don't want you to dislocate your shoulder. And you would never do this thing to the point of any pain at all. If you start to feel pain, you back off. But this movement in itself, I think it works the shoulder blade a little bit, and it also just seems to put the shoulder in a position that eventually it takes away the pain from the shoulder impingement. And, try it with a broomstick and see if that helps you. And I'd love to have you comment on our channel if it does help, because I want support for this. I mean,
the chicken wing?
Yeah, for the chicken wing. So, all right.
These are really good rehab tool, though. I mean, we used to use them all the time for any shoulder injuries or rotator cuff repairs once they got to that phase of using them, but they're very handy for that. We got our patients, we just give them the stick and they just do it themselves once we get to a point.
Once we talk, we did. I mean, we got to talk ourselves out of a job quite often. We just send one home with the patient, and like Mike said, when they were done with it, they just bring it back.
Yeah.
And sometimes they want to get one themselves.
Yeah, or they just make their own version of it. But
you know what? It's funny. I'm going back to the chicken wing again. Both Brad and my wife, the impingement got better, but in both cases it came back because they stopped doing the exercise. So, you may have to do it on a maintenance standpoint, right? Where you do it maybe once a week. But both Brad and my wife are impatient people, and they
it just throws Brad under the bus.
Well, you only have so much time during the day, and you want to allocate it towards.
You want to do what you want to do, and then the stretching programs now is the funnest thing in the world to do.
So, anything else you want to do with the Booyah stick, Mike?
I don't think so.
How are we doing for time?
We are at 68 minutes.
Oh, well, we're good. We're going to do another program on Monday, right?
Yes, Monday. That's going to be
on the shoulder.
So we're going to talk about different products that
just specifically for the shoulder.
So we'll show different rehab exercises for your shoulder. If you have shoulder problems, what tools you can use to help. We'll have our products there or other products of companies we work with. Obviously, if there's things at home that may work too, we'll bring up those options as well, so you don't have to buy something. But
exactly,
it'll be more therapy-related video.
There's a lot of products actually that you can use to help your shoulder, and
we're just showing you the many options and just get which one you think works.
Yeah, pick out the ones that
you
you think, and we'll try to give you some free options too.
So that'll be Monday at 10:30
Central Time,
Standard Time again, and we're doing one Friday with Jordan, our nutritionist.
Is that Friday or Thursday?
Thursday, sorry. Thursday in the afternoon.
And she's going to do supplements, right?
Yep, she's going to do supplements that she takes and would recommend to others.
So. And she's not a big supplement person, I don't believe. I think she likes to get stuff from her food if she can get it.
Yep, it's just these are good options she finds if people want to take them or need them.
Sure.
So, yep.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, and join us next time as we try to help you get better with whatever issue you have.
Bat time, same
Same
bat
bat place.
channel.
There you go.
All right, you can hit it, Dan. I'll end this one.